So, obviously, this Steven Crowder situation.
Can you believe this, man?
Is just, look, you want to know what I think about this whole situation?
Tell me.
About the gun line,
look,
boss.
we just do the sports. We talk about sports. And because I've watched football for so long, I know a trick play when I see one. I know a reverse pass when I see one. You were never signing with anybody. You're using this because you're going to go out by yourself, do your own thing, which, look, more power to you, but you're using this to kind of drum up support with it. I know a trick play when I'm seeing
the Harbaugh situation.
Yeah, pulling a Jim Harbaugh. Like, you think I don't know? You think you're just smarter than everybody else? Like, you're that much, so like, nobody understands how business works, or like this play that you're running? Guess what? Backside of the defense stayed. We didn't bite it. Now you're trying to string it out. You're in 2nd and 13.
I love that analogy. 2nd and 18, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, he really did clown himself. I feel like, and this is somebody who's, I've listened to Steve.
Yeah,
important voice. I hate all this infighting.
It doesn't
there's enough out there to fight without all this infighting. But, you know, this idea, you scaled your YouTube channel to 6 million people, man. You did that, and now all of a sudden you have a following. It's like, well, just put everything behind a paywall. It's like, well, no. You got famous from scaling your YouTube channel and making money too. Like, this idea that, you know, if the company makes less money, you shouldn't make less money, like you're above that or something. There's a reason these guys, we're talking about sports, right? There's a reason the running back gets another $1 million if he scores 20 touchdowns in a season rather than 10 in a season. There's a reason the coach gets an extra, you know, bonus if he makes it to the Super Bowl. This is not a novel idea.
This is the thing. First of all, you don't record your friends.
Yeah, that's the
you
part.
never record. That's
snakish behavior at its
snakish. I mean, you're Kevin Durant, full-fledged.
Changed my mind.
KD?
Yeah, KD,
Changed
Jafar.
my mind.
Changed my mind.
Real Jafar
You're a
vibes
snake.
going
Changed
on.
my mind.
But we need, both parties need to get past this, because at the end of the day, we're all fighting the same fight. And I would say we're not winning it right now. So Crowder's a huge voice. So hopefully we can get past this, and I think we will. It just takes
one-on-one basketball game to determine it.
Let's go.
That's a good
one-on-one basketball
Let's
game.
the Crowder boys.
Let's go. You send your best. We're sending our. We already won the Daily Wire tournament.
Assemble
so
your
best.
crew.
Assemble your crew.
Hold on, I have a button here. I have a button here for Steven. Hold on.
Clearly don't understand the employer-employee relationship.
I guess I'm starting to, and I don't like it.
It's a good start. Spencer Sanders transfers from Oklahoma State to Ole Miss. The Tampa Bay Bucs fire OC Byron Leftwich, and we take your calls live at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. That's right, it's live call-ins on Flamin' Dragon Friday. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Coaching rivalries are always fun to monitor, and we've seen new ones formed at the top, middle, and bottom of college football recently. We all saw the Jimbo and Nick Saban spat that got more personal than an intervention and uglier than Quasimodo and Rosie O'Donnell in a staring contest. But there's one new rivalry brewing between coaches that looks to be a little extra spicy, and that's between Lane Kiffin of Ole Miss and new Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze. Now, there are many connections to help nudge these two into a legit back and forth or tit for tat. Lane is at the place that Freeze took to their highest heights that we can remember. Even with the downturn at Oxford at the end of Freeze's tenure, there are still some warm fuzzies connecting the two, and they haven't forgot about the good times. Now, both are in the running for the Auburn job. And with Kiffin not ultimately ending up on the Plains, the door was open for Hugh Freeze to walk through. Both are very confident and offensive-minded. Now, they go about showing their confidence in different ways, but both love putting the pedal to the floor and screaming America when the offense has the ball. Now, we've seen a little trolling and back and forth on social media with the fish picture that Lane Kiffin posted after Hugh Freeze had laid claim to the subtle shot across the bow, "We just got a recruit fish pic." Now, some people will hate it, and that's okay. But there is nothing like a good old-fashioned SEC coaching rivalry to spice up the offseason even more. And we got a hell of one brewing as we speak between Kiffin and Freeze. I'm going to bring in my co-host, former Michigan quarterback, and probably David Cohn. And it's Flaming Dragon Friday, so y'all know who's sitting to my right.
This is Flaming Dragon!
And no, I will not say his name not even once today.
6.5
I don't
today,
care
fellas.
if there's
Am I involved in this,
fire.
too?
6.5 today, you're both involved.
They
So I
said you're
can't say
involved,
your
just
name.
don't look
Nope.
at him. Don't look at him the whole show.
Okay, so we're
you look
just
at
here.
me.
We're mind
It's us.
mouthing.
We're
We're
mind
here.
mouthing.
I do have questions.
Can.
I do have questions.
Me and
though.
you.
Don't take the easy way out.
Tanner, does that?
You think you can use my Govey out here?
Okay, so that's extra bad.
Just call him a JT.
And I didn't say that. That doesn't count against me. I'm asking a question.
You just call me a JT?
You just call him a JT. Look, you can call him anything you want. Just don't call him a JT.
Okay.
Just don't do
All
that.
right.
But
I'll call you an FD. A flaming
But
dragon.
speaking about guys who have been calling each other JTs for a while, look, I love this dynamic.
Yeah, this
we
will be
need
fun.
this. Coaching rivalries are fantastic in sports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we give them enough time of day. We always talk about this quarterback versus that quarterback. We'll look at the head coaching matchups, but everybody's out there shaking hands before. No, there's nothing like having a little bit of, maybe not at the surface level. It may come off as mocking or just joking around, or yeah, we're still buddies, but we give each other a hard time. No, I want. Sometimes it's good for you guys to really just not like each other.
Yeah.
Just at the end of the day, personally, from man to man, I don't like you and where you're at. You don't like me and where I'm at. Like Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day, I don't think they like each other.
Oh, no.
I really don't think they like each other.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the game.
No, this one's extra spicy, especially the dynamic of, Lane Kiffin is just always going to be an interesting
bad boy.
personality. Yeah, the Joker.
Yeah,
He is the Joker of college
He is the
football.
Joker.
Now you add on top of that Hugh Freeze coming into first year at Auburn, but was a coach at Ole Miss, the last time that they had some success, and both programs trying to claw their way to the top of the SEC West. That's what makes this interesting to me. I was looking at the transfer portal again today, moved yet again. LSU now number 1. Auburn finds themselves number 3. And we talked about Ole Miss climbing up that ladder. They sit at 13 right now in the transfer portal rankings. My question to you is, now they've gotten yet another quarterback, Spencer Sanders, coming over from Oklahoma State after they had already gotten Walker Howard from LSU, and Jackson Dart still on the roster. Is their ranking in the transfer portal a little skewed because only one quarterback can play?
Yeah, only one can play. I will always default regardless if you're trying to flip a roster from scratch or if you've been at a place for a while, you want to breed competition at every position, including the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think, nowadays in the era of the transfer portal, your backup quarterback is most likely gone. He's most likely leaving. If he's good enough to play, or give you a chance to play and he doesn't win the job because there's a better guy, your third string quarterback is really your backup with the way it's worked in the transfer portal. You're probably not keeping him. You look at the LSU situation right now. You've got Jaden Daniels, you have Nussmeier, and you had Walker Howard. Well, Walker Howard was your third string guy, and now he's bounced. Well, if Nussmeier doesn't win the job, which I don't think he's going to, and you've heard Brian Kelly talk about Jaden Daniels, well, he's going to leave. How do you keep a steady backup quarterback in the era of the transfer portal? That's the biggest question. Well, you get a bunch of guys in there. The more you have, the more chance you have of a backup to stay. Only one guy can win the job, and you've created a great competition. Now, when I look at what they have going on over there, this tells me more about Jackson Dart than it does about Walker Howard or Spencer Sanders. I think Lane Kiffin, after this past season, and we talked about it ad nauseum during the year, he wasn't seeing linebackers in coverage. You'd see some good steps taken by Jackson Dart, but then he'd take 2 steps back. I don't think Lane Kiffin trusts him. I don't think Lane Kiffin thinks he's going to be the guy to help resurrect them where they were before they went on that losing skid in the back half of last year when that schedule got tougher. I think Spencer Sanders is going to be the guy. I think Walker Howard's going to be the backup. And after spring, and we've talked about this, you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks get back in the portal. That's why I tell these Auburn fans that are just panicking right now, just panic at the disco. We're not going to have a quarterback. Maybe Ashford can figure it out throwing. There are going to be quarterbacks that leave during the spring that realize they're not winning the job. It's like another opening or mass exodus of players coming to the reality of, hey, maybe I didn't win this job. And you say, oh, well, why would you want a backup quarterback to come in? I don't know. You saw what Joe Burrow did. Yeah. We've seen what some of these backup quarterbacks been able to come in and do. Like, I don't know, Cam Rising. Do I need to keep going down the list? So, look, it's an interesting time, but the quarterback room at Ole Miss, they're deeper than the Pacific Ocean right now.
No doubt. Flaming Dragon?
Yes. Well, if anything, you got to give Ole Miss credit. You got to give Lane Kiffin credit. The guy has always been able to get a quarterback, and he's always been able to coach up a quarterback. But you also have to give Auburn credit where it's due, especially what Hugh Freeze is doing and what he walked into. That roster was a disaster. It still somewhat is. And he's, you said, number 3 right now in the portal.
Yep.
This is the rivalry everybody needs. Next year, I cannot wait for this game. I don't know if this game is at Ole Miss or at Auburn. I'm not 100% on
I believe it's at Auburn.
Is that Auburn? Well, this game is going to be rocking in the jungle. there's enough hate between these two teams. There's a lot of hate between mostly all SEC teams. There'll never be a problem if you add a little bit more on top of it.
Yeah.
It just makes things even better.
Well, it's like I said, hate is just another form of love that's warped and wicked and in a different, modus operandi. But speaking about modus operandi, if you're trying to operandi into a new sports book or find one that's the best, well, guess what? You don't have to use your cheat sheet. You don't have to look at the nearest girl's paper. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's DraftKings, all right? You need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. By the way, that's becoming a thing when I say BOOSTER.
Oh, it's amazing.
I like that. New customers, you can bet $5 on the NFL divisional round, and you get $200 in free American human dollars instantly to be able to bet. That's just $200 in free bets right then when you make that first $5 bet if you're a new customer. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook and with our code BOOSTER. That's BOOSTER. I got to put a jingle to it. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, look, college basketball had a little juiced up parlay last night. I don't want to talk about what Illinois did to me. Never going to be bet on y'all twice. You've let me down twice. This isn't the football team. Hashtag Brett Bielema, I love you. And the second thing is same game parlays. This weekend, I'm going to be all over the same game parlays. I know you love them as well, David.
I do love them. Last night, a little college basketball. Michigan State, Purdue, hit that.
Yep.
Going to try the NBA tonight for the first time this season.
Blaine's just hotter than two supermodels eating
Oh, that one's on you. That one's on you.
Okay, what did I say? Not more than one.
Beautiful.
You're not getting more than one out of me.
It's always good to
Next.
catch one
Not
early.
even making the
It's
joke
always
now.
good to
Moving
catch
on.
To catch one
Moving
early,
on.
we're a good ways in.
Yeah, look, that's
minutes.
just one.
10 minutes.
That's one. That's a 10-minute goal.
Cone's guaranteed too.
No, he's not.
I'm guaranteed
Cone's
to.
not going to say one because he's not.
I don't even know your name.
not gonna-
I've already forgotten it.
He's not going to look at you. So, Flaming Dragon. What's going on in the Booster Club as we get ready to take live calls?
Love it. Let's go to Robbie Williams, 29482.
Wow.
If you wanted to know.
Okay.
Says, what do you guys think of the Celtics this year? Finals odds, and why are the Warriors their kryptonite? Tatum is playing like an absolute manimal, right?
He is, but I just
regular
don't think I forgot about
Well,
last
Dave.
year, what you did at the end, Jason. All right, don't think I've forgotten. People don't forget. Look, the Celtics, we know their identity, even with the stuff with Ime Udoka and the changes there. They do have poise. They are a team that's been there, done that. They've got like young energy with mature poise. But getting down to the end, it's hard for me to trust you. I mean, you did beat the Warriors in overtime by 3. We've seen the Warriors be one of the best dynasties that we've seen in the NBA in a long time. But the Celtics, they have that core and they play defense. They can beat you in multiple ways. What do we always talk about? The most dangerous teams are the ones that can beat you in multiple ways. Typically in the NBA, you just outscore people, but they can beat you with defense. They can beat you when the game's sped up. They can beat you when the game's slowed down. They can work it inside out. That's why they're 4.5 games up on the Bucks right now in the Eastern Conference. But I still like the Bucks to win the whole thing.
That's a safe bet. Jason Tatum is a great player, man, a star, right? And maybe that finals from last year will be the worst playoff performance we ever see from him. I hope so. I mean, he is a great basketball player. But it wasn't just that he had a bad performance. Everybody does that. Even stars have bad performance. He turned it down. He turned it down in a lot of moments.
Turned it down and over.
That is true. But, I mean, he turned down the biggest moments and the biggest shots when Jaylen Brown, giving Brown the ball when it counted to me.
Jaylen Brown was the best player they had last year during the finals.
I mean, he carried them in the
extremely
finals.
well, too.
Let's be honest.
All right, let's go to Mike RFF Lifestyle. That's the lifestyle. That's the lifestyle, baby. Hashtag Ask the Boys. Said, but mostly Jake. All right, it says, would love to get your thoughts on Loyola Marymount last night beating Gonzaga.
Yeah, in a low-scoring game.
68-67.
Who would have thought? 68-67. Y'all can't go into overtime and hit the over. Again, I will tell you about Gonzaga. I believed in them one time. That was with on the team with Suggs. They made it to the Natty. I had picked Baylor to win it before the tournament started. I don't believe in a basketball team that their parents still work the concession stands and there's volleyball lines on the court. Okay?
Hey, Jared,
Would they have PTA meetings at halftime?
Jared's wife's listen.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well,
Okay.
guess what?
All right.
Guess what? You went to Jared's. Here's the ring. You know what the ring says? Hold on, let me open up the box. Gonzaga's overrated and they're not making it. They will not make it past the Sweet 16. I said last year that Gonzaga wouldn't make it past the Elite 8 when everybody was just to Drew Timme and everybody else on that team. This year, they're not making it past the Sweet 16. They're not doing it. They may lose in the second round. And I also said Walker Kessler was going to be a better NBA player than Chet Holmgren, not because of pure talent, but Chet's body is put together with Band-Aids, bubble gum, and the tears of Gypsy. And that just doesn't last in the NBA. He can't even make it through a couple.
You're asking for it on call-ins. Over under 0.5 call-ins about
somebody
Gonzaga.
Call in from Gonzaga and explain to me why I should believe it.
Yeah, so like, well, my wife has a gun to my head right now, so please apologize, Jake.
It's like if it's turning into one of those movies on the oxygen.
You're turning to Halle Berry, like, you don't touch her.
Yeah, you didn't touch your mind stick.
All right, let's go to Travis. What up, Travi? Hashtag Ask Crane & Company. Did you ever talk behind the scenes about how much you hated other coaches when you were coaching with them?
When I was coaching with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's just like anything. Being on the coaching staff, it's like high school. There's more stuff that gets talked behind closed doors about people than everybody just squads up in their little cliques. It's always interesting to see some of the, which offensive guys are hanging out with the defensive guys, or as we used to call them, which ones are going to Benedict Arnold this thing and form their own weird survivor alliance.
The coaches or the players?
The coaches. Look, the coaches aren't immune from this. Okay, I've watched it on every coaching staff ever.
So were you going up to other coaches and whispering at the water cooler, we need to form an alliance?
And you have your boys.
No, yeah, you'd have your boys. No, I'd go up there and be like, hey, did y'all see what we did in 7-on-7 today? It's like, God, Rick is just a clown. It's like I used to walk by sometimes when they'd be drawing stuff up and just pop my head and be like, that'll never work. That'll absolutely never. I'll be in there, just really getting at it in the lab. Be like, what if we influence here? We can really attack the seam. Like, no, it's never going to work. It's never going to work.
Can't trust defense.
Just stunt the front and 2-man. Just stun it.
All right, let's go to Laura Brown. What's up, Laura? Hashtag Ask Crane & Company. Cone, how many QBs should a team keep on their roster?
For college or NFL or
college?
Either one?
I would think college.
On their roster in its entirety, you got to have 4 guys. You got to have 4 guys. In a lot of cases, 5. You're going to have 3 scholarship guys at least and a couple walk-ons. What was your experience?
Well, I think you need to have at least 3 that can play. Not that your third one's going to put you in the exact same position as your first one or even your second one, but just catastrophic injuries. You always build it back from worst case scenario. I wanted to carry 3 quarterbacks and 3 guys that can long snap. That doesn't mean you take 3 long snappers, but you better have a tight end that can do it, or a defensive end that can do it, or somebody who did it in high school as an emergency. You always have to have the parachute and be able to hit the eject button.
I don't ever remember having the quarterback room being under 4. Most of the time it was 5 because you need a couple scout team guys as well to run that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm talking about scholarship. Like, I would 3 on scholarship, I have a couple walk-ons, and you never know. I mean, sometimes, you reward those guys, let them travel. One of them's a holder. Something like that. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but you wanted at least 3 on scholarship. You would typically travel 4 in case of, some sort of crazy catastrophe. But, all right, remember, you can donate in the chat, but the best way to donate, just go to the Daily Wire Plus. All right? Just go to the Daily Wire Plus, sign up, become a member. It's the coolest thing you can do. You're welcome.
All right, question here from Benjamin. What's up, Benjamin? Is there any hope for my UCF Knights in the Big 12 next season?
Next season, I mean, what do you define? What are you talking about? Hope, like winning the thing? Are you trying to get a winning record first year going Power 5? That's, to me, let's see if we can get to 8. If I'm Gus Malzahn, I know what you guys are going to run on offense. So you got Plumlee. I know who I believe has another year. You're losing some guys in the transfer portal, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're UCF, yeah, you want to go in there and win every game. I get it. All right, I get the competitor in you. I want to go in there and win every game. But in reality, if you could get to a nice 8-win season, first year in the Big 12, maybe even conference record, a slightly winning conference record, that'd be a nice win and really give even more credibility to a place that's earned a ton of credibility here lately in UCF. But
all right, John Rice Plumlee is coming back.
Yep, John Rice Plumlee, how well can he throw the ball? Yeah, people say he runs 4.3. I don't believe that. You can say what you want. I've watched him run. I don't believe he's running 4.3, 4.35. That's a different level of speed when you look at it. But let's get to keys to victory.
Let's do it, man. Where do you want to start? Jacksonville, Kansas City?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just get this murder out of the way.
Trevor Lawrence listed as questionable with a toe injury, boys.
Yeah, well, their chances of winning this game have been questionable since the minute they moved on past the Chargers. Look, Trevor hadn't played well the past 2 games. Okay, I don't know another way to put it. He hadn't played great. You look at the last game, I mean, they had more turnovers than a bakery. What do you want, apple, orange, or strawberry? It just depends. They were able to survive. You're not surviving against the Chiefs, all right, turning the ball over 2 times or more, or giving them an extra 2 possessions in the red zone. Because what they do an unbelievable job in Kansas City of manipulating defenses when the field shrinks. What do I mean by that? In the red zone, being able to score touchdowns and not field goals. The key to victory for Jacksonville is, I don't know another way to put it, you need it to be ugly. You need this game to be gross. You need this game to be a performance from the Chiefs that is not just underwhelming, but they're not hitting big plays. You need to turn this one from a track meet to a tortoise race to have a chance. Because if you try and get in a scoring fest with Kansas City on the road, I don't care if the game's close throughout. You're not winning it at the end with the weapons that they have, with Travis Kelce, with Jerick McKinnon, who's really come on. It seems like he scores a touchdown in every game. We know about Juju Smith-Schuster. Valdez-Scantling down the field has become a threat when they're able to get him the ball and he's actually able to catch it. Then you look in the backfield. I already mentioned McKinnon, but Pacheco's a weapon. I think the defense is good for the Chiefs, but the Jaguars just cannot get in a track meet. You've got to make this thing ugly. You've got to make this slow and try and limit possessions. Try and steal a possession, fake a punt, surprise onside kick, because you cannot keep the status quo and win this game. And if you're the Chiefs, continue to pitch backwards. Continue to get yourself, or to be unpredictable for the defense, to be able to keep yourself on schedule. You notice with Patrick, very rarely are they ever in 2nd 8 or more. You may get an incompletion every now and then, be 2nd 10. The screen game's been hot. Jacksonville, good against the run, bad against the pass. Take your ass to class, and they get smoke you like some grass. That's what's going to happen. Chiefs.
Good for you. You're a poet.
Look, I'll Dr. Seuss this whole thing.
Blaming the Jags, obviously, you're going to have to score 30-plus points. You're just going to have to, because you're going to get the probably premier play caller, the premier quarterback, and they're going to put up. There's nothing scarier than Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And if you're the Jaguars, you have to figure out a way to get the Chiefs off the field on 3rd down. You do. They're the best third down team in the NFL. When 3rd down comes along, they always get it. You need to get them in 3rd and 7+. You have to somehow get to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, good luck. I think the spread's 9.5. This is a game I wouldn't touch if I was you. If you're the Chiefs, just be yourself. Right? Let your superstars be superstars in this game. Play a bend but don't break defense. Make Trevor Lawrence beat you. Give up field goals in the red zone. If you give up a certain amount of field goals in the red zone, the Chiefs, you will probably win this game and you will probably cover in this game. So those are my keys.
It's just a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup for the Jags. Whereas you take a team like, let's say, the Titans, who the Jags beat to even get in the playoffs, the Chiefs are still a much better team than the Titans, but at least there's a possibility for a couple 15-play drives. Really chew the clock, limit possessions.
To me, like, you got to try and take a page out of the Ravens playbook.
Okay.
I mean,
is their defense good enough to do that?
Well, they're good enough to stop the run. Like, again, the Chiefs are unbelievably talented as an offense, running and passing. We know that, but they're even more deadly. They are arsenic. They are cyanide deadly when that run game is working and they're able to run that play action game off of it. And then you see Mahomes be able to move the pocket and then work outside the pocket and extend the play. That's when they're the most deadly. At least by making them one-dimensional, you have a better chance to guess right. Mm-hmm. And just so much has to go right for Jacksonville. Blaine, they may have to score 30 points to win, but I don't think that's two. Okay. I'm done talking.
Somebody's on it.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
Okay. What do they need to do?
What did we put it at? 2.5? Over under 2.5?
No.
Right?
For both of us, it was 6.5.
Okay, good. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
That guy doesn't even exist anymore.
Don't exclude me. Just don't say my name.
No. You can't have it both ways.
No, you're excluded.
Yes, I can.
You're excluded.
Eat my cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Okay, Marie Antoinette. But again, you try and get them in. It's like facing a really good pitcher. At some point, I got to guess. Like, I have to guess. If all your pitches are working, I have to guess in general. But if I can kind of narrow it down, hey, that cutter isn't working today, aka run game, then I got a better chance of guessing what you're doing. Maybe I want to bring pressure, play off, jump a route. You're playing with house money if you're the Jags. Mm-hmm. If you lose by 40, Doug Peterson's not getting fired. Hell, he's going to get a raise. So why not? Suburban Bowl.
There will be no shortage of creativity.
Yeah, it's the Bourbon Bowl.
Sure. Doug Peterson is the perfect coach for this Jacksonville team. I actually like to see them in this underdog role. Like, let's go really find out. Let's see what can be dialed up. One of the problems I have, though, is any other quarterback you would be facing in these playoffs, like Brock Purdy, or Dak Prescott, unproven in the playoffs, even Jalen Hurts, or even the AFC quarterbacks. If you're talking about Josh Allen, who's prone to turn the football over this season, or Joe Burrow, whose offensive line has just been, shredded recently. You could say, like, just get after the quarterback with all your might, maybe create some turnovers and then capitalize on those. Mm-hmm. The problem with doing that against Patrick Mahomes is even if you're able to get to him a couple times or even say consistently within a half, I just feel like his will be imposed at some point in the game with the weapons he has on the outside. Travis Kelce's going to score touchdowns.
For sure.
You know, Kadarius Toney's going to get the football. Juju Smith-Schuster's going to catch a big pass, and Patrick Mahomes will make some play that we put on our top play, you know, Sports Center top 10 type moment, and that'll be the defining.
You're going to have to go blow for blow for him. It's the only way you beat him.
Yeah.
It's the only way you beat him.
Yeah. Yep. All right. New York, Philly. So you're still going to ride with the Giants.
Man, I'm just telling you.
You're going to ride with the Giants, huh?
I'll wake up in the middle of the night, like the hairs will be standing up on the back of my neck. I'm just, you know, able to climb up the walls. I'm swinging from the biggest towers in downtown Nashville. Just the spidey senses are all
You have an origin story?
It's like with TCU. Like, again, it was just the spidey senses. I don't know. It was just all of a sudden woke up, was twice as muscular and half as hungry.
Well, you cost us that.
It's just, I don't know. Just something about the Giants right now. Something about them. You know, like there's always that girl that she may not be like supermodel pretty, but there's just something about her. There's just something about her. She's interesting pretty.
What does that mean?
She's interesting.
She's not supermodel. Is that just another word for fat? She's not supermodel pretty. Just say fat.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not, you know I'm not into that. What I'm saying is, like, she's just interesting pretty.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, wow. You know, like I've seen a lot of dandelions, but man, that one's a different looking dandelion. Like that's cool. That's interesting. That's what, to me, what the Giants are. They're the interesting pretty girl. That, wow, she enjoys stuff about World War II. You know, she's great. Like, just
so that's interesting.
She's a great personality.
She's into World War II.
AKA, she's fat.
That's not.
You know who else?
Plain.
You know who else?
Yes.
You're doing this.
It's working. We're good.
Do you know who else is into World War II?
Who?
My dad.
Yeah.
You read books about submarines?
But the Giants, to me, that's what they are. Daniel Jones is making great decisions. You know, he's doing his homework, keeping his room clean. Going to be a partner in the law firm here in a couple of years. But it's this whole. I think it's just the way the Giants are. You know, we use the term gritty. We've said it on here, and I'm not talking about what, you know, Mike Gesicki attempts to do after he scores a touchdown, which is
skedaddle, baby.
Skedaddle. But up front on the offensive line and the defensive line, they seem to win the middle and the interior of the line of scrimmage. They've got Darius Slayton's a speedster on the outside. We see some of the Saquon Barkley having his resurgence. Richie James. There's something about the Gigantes that I just like in this game. The Eagles have had all the success all year. Jalen Hurts, poster boy, possible MVP, little bit banged up. The car kind of clunked its way into town in the last couple weeks of the season. You didn't play last week. I don't know. I just feel like the Giants are just humming right now. I love the Giants. Plus 7.5 and the under 48. I
love Brian Daboll. I mean, he's going to have.
We all do.
Brian Daboll is going to have extreme success with the Giants, and both of the Super Bowls I've seen the Giants win in my lifetime, they were the wild card. You know, they were wild card seed. They weren't. You know, they were playing in that underdog role. If this were March Madness in the tournament, I could get behind it a little more because they're peaking at the right time. Meanwhile, two of the last 3 games for the Eagles, you know, you were hot early, not so much hot entering the playoffs. This is professional football, though. If Jalen Hurts is healthy, give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
All day. I mean, the Eagles are just a better version of the Giants. I mean, they really are. I mean, let's look at it. Up front, the Eagles, maybe the best offensive line. Lane Johnson, a little bit banged up, obviously. D-line, absolute monsters running around, and let's go out to a receiver. There's a reason they paid A.J. Brown all that money. You got A.J. Brown. You have a healthy tight end in Goddard. You have Devontae Smith absolutely balling right now. I think a lot of it depends on the health of Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts is fully healthy and they run him like they've been running him all year, I think the Eagles cover in this game. But this doesn't take anything away from the Giants. Producer Justinio had a great year. Daniel Jones proved himself. And I want to say one thing about Daniel Jones, another guy that just showed absolute toughness throughout the year. This guy's been getting killed all year. One guy I went and watched YouTube last night of just the hits on Daniel Jones. This man's getting crushed all year. He's earned that contract, but I do think the Eagles cover in this game. I think he's a better team.
Well, here's my key for the Giants is, again, you have to continue to use Daniel Jones in the quarterback run game to make it 11-11, just like they're going to do. The Eagles, again, I love what Flaming Dragon said about the Eagles are just a better version of the Giants. They are, but the Giants are playing complementary football right now. The offense is working, the defense is working, the special teams working. I want to read you this quote, all right, when it comes down to this game. From a coach, I think we all know, named Danny O'Shea. When we were kids, we used to race our bikes down Cherry Hill every day after school. We raced every day. and he always beat me. But one time I beat him. Jake Berman says, you beat Kevin down Cherry Hill? Yes, I did. He ate my dust. Johnny Venera says, big deal, one time. Tad says, one time at Randy's, but all it takes is one time. It's win or go home. All the Giants have to do is put it together one time. Quack. Quack.
I feel like you just could have said
Quack.
it only takes one time.
Quack.
Eagles.
Quack.
Quote.
Quack. Quack. Give me the Giants right now. Give me the Giants right now. I'm saying it.
Yeah, is it going to be a show bet?
Probably this weekend, yeah. Yeah, it will. Okay. I guarantee I'm going to take them plus 7.5. I can promise you that.
No.
Well, what do you mean?
Win.
No.
Take a money line.
No. What do you
You're
mean?
so confident about it.
Mussolini.
You just sat over here and quacked 6 times. You're not going to take a money line?
Mussolini. You don't make the rules.
All right. Cowboys at the 49ers.
If you're the 49ers, the key is very, very simple. Balance, 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 balance. Why has this Brock Purdy experiment worked? Yes, you have the pieces around him. You have a good offensive line, but you've been able to run the ball, which sets up everything else and takes all the pressure off Brock Purdy. Because if you watch the way Shanahan's operated with Brock Purdy, you're not getting a ton of true drop back. No token play action handoff, or there's no quick spit out to Deebo Samuel. They're using the regular run game and the modified run game. They're getting it to Deebo quick. They're getting it to Christian McCaffrey quick when they line up on the outside. They're not giving Brock too much to chew on to put him in a bad situation. You've seen the couple of plays where he's been able to extend the play, or he's gone through his reads and made the right decision. Having George Kittle in the seam to protect that and keep the safeties occupied has been humongous, especially when San Francisco runs those condensed formations, because those safeties aren't taking as many chances because they're worried about George in the middle. So you've gotten Brock Purdy this far, and he's so confident and he's so comfortable because the whole menu's available. There's not a bad play on the play sheet right now for the 49ers, and they're able to keep defenses off balance on first and second down. That's why it seems like them and the Chiefs are always ahead of schedule, because everything is working. Now, on the other hand, for the Cowboys, the key is very simple. You are going to have to hit big plays in this game. You are not methodically going to be able to drive the ball on that 49ers defense 9, 10, 11, 12 plays down the field and make Dak have to pick apart what D'Amico and them are doing in the back end. I don't think the run game's going to be there for the Cowboys. You can say what you want about this offensive line, but that Niners front seven, they haven't been as dominant as we saw earlier in the year here late, but at some point they're going to turn it on. And when you make Dak one-dimensional, I don't think Dak has the consistency in him to play like he played last week if the run game isn't working. Mm-hmm. So if you're the Cowboys, it needs to be bombs over Baghdad to CeeDee Lamb. Tony Pollard, remember during the regular season when he was hitting home runs from 40, 35, 65 yards? You need big plays against the Niners defense, because they will get you in that red zone, and I don't think shovel-faced Kellen Moore will be able to save you with his play calling compared to what the Niners will do with Armstead and the rest of the army of globonauts they have running around on that defense. Ward just cannot get looky, here comes Cookie, Cook's pest control on the outside like he did last game when it was just an absolute Seahawks barrage at Ward the whole game. They picked on him, and it worked. He went home and cried to mommy.
They did. I'd love to see a Dak Prescott performance similar to what he did against the Buccaneers, because if that's the case, we're going to be in for a heck of a football game for sure. Will he turn the football over? And if he does, will he turn the football over in the worst moments? That's what I want to know. And then I want to see, can that Dallas front seven, really that front four, can they get to Brock Purdy? Can they figure out the Brock Purdy solution that no one else has been able to figure out for the last 6 or so weeks? Can they fluster him and make him look like a third-string rookie quarterback? Or is this guy going to go out there and look like Steve Young and send the 49ers into the conference round?
You know what? It should be very, very interesting. Blaine, what do you think?
More like, yes.
We need to have separate over-under.
Yes. This is getting better and better.
It's at 6.5, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we're at
still
4.
got 2.
We're at 4.
Still got
now.
2.
Yeah, so we're at 4 right now. If anything, the more I look at this game, the more I like the Cowboys, to be honest. I think Dak's going to have a good game. I do. I think this defense is going to force Brock Purdy into mistakes. I think that starts up front. Who's going to guard CeeDee Lamb? Who's going to guard CeeDee Lamb? If anything, you have to know, and I don't think Kellen Moore knows this, that you have to know in certain situations where it matters the most.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm not even looking at him.
Okay.
Breakfast has been canceled.
Yeah. Dude, when it matters the most, you get your best players the ball. I think the Cowboys is a 4-point spread, but I do think the Cowboys win this game by a field goal.
Really?
Really? You would go Cowboys?
Yep, I'm going Boys.
That could be a show bet?
Huh?
Gonna be a show bet?
For sure.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I certainly don't think everything's going to go scratch. So which one's going to be the upset? That's the question. Let's get to one of the most intriguing matchups. Again, because we were robbed of this a couple weeks ago with the tragedy of Damar Hamlin. Sounds like he could possibly be in attendance at this game, but the Cincinnati Bengals are going to go to the Buffalo Bills. How's this one going to shake out?
I love the Bengals in this game. I love the Bengals in this game. And it's more about the Bengals than it is the Bills. But when I look at the Bills, I just don't trust their defense. You're going to hear all week, and you should, Bengals offensive line struggles. Bengals offensive line struggles. And they have struggled. Jonah Williams dislocated his kneecap. All right? You know it's bad when you're getting upset about the person who gave up the most sacks in the NFL is not going to be able to play.
That is true.
That's when you know it's not a good situation. But you know a team you would love to be playing if you had an offensive line that was struggling? The Bills. Because they don't, outside of Von Miller, nobody scares me in that pass rush. You're going to bring Matt Milano, bring 5? Okay, that's fine. It's the perfect remedy for the Bengals. Joey B will have time. He has been getting the ball out quicker. We've talked about that. But you talk about weapons. I mean, this dude's like going into John Wick's basement and knocking the concrete out from under the garage and looking underneath. Oh, wow. I pull out a Kalashnikov. Yeah, I pull out an RPG. I got Joe Mixon. I got T. Higgins. I got Jamar Chase. I got Hayden Hurst, the redheaded monster. I mean, Tyler Boyd, the old head. You've got all the pieces. So when I look at this game, I think this will be the highest scoring game of the weekend. I don't think the Bills will be able to stop the Bengals, and I don't think the Bengals will really be able to stop the Bills. But at the end, it seems like this Bengals team always makes a couple plays on defense, whether it's DJ Reader, whether it's been Bates in the past, whether it's Hendricks out there playing with like a broken femur but somehow still playing. They always tend to make the game-winning plays at the end. So I'm going with the Bengals. I absolutely love the Bengals. I am so high on the Bengals and Giants, I almost feel intoxicated. That's
I agree with you on one of those. It's Bengals.
Oh, man. I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl, so I'm going to stick with the Bills, but I think the Bengals win the game. I want to be honest.
Really?
I think these teams are somewhat equal. Obviously, the offensive line for the Bills are better than what the Bengals have, but the Bengals have a lot more weapons on the outside, and the Bills can't get to you with bringing 4.
No.
Right? So you have to pick your poison if you're the Bills. And there's not a better quarterback than Joey Freshwater, to know where you're coming from and where he's going to throw it. I mean, you have a top 5 receiver. Hell, I think you put T. Higgins in the top 10 the way he's been playing. And this defense is a bend but don't break defense. And what's been the knock on Josh Allen this year? Turnovers at costly times. And if you turn the ball over in the playoffs against Joey Shiesty, I promise you, he will make you pay. This isn't the Dolphins. All right? This isn't, you got Tyreek Hill and Skyler at quarterback. Some guy you can't trust. You got the man who comes in clutch almost more than anybody. You can put him up there with Patrick Mahomes. So, God, I picked the Bills, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win this game.
Yeah, Joey B's got those dead eyes, too.
He fits in.
There's nothing that scares a defensive coordinator more than when you have that quarterback with dead eyes. I would love to have, look at those eyes. Look at those eyes on Joe Burrow right there. Just dead. Nothing inside except your heart.
You think he has dead eyes?
He's got dead eyes.
He is a killer.
Inside. Look at those eyes. There's nothing
field.
inside of them except your future.
Like a dog.
And the lack of success that you will have if you're against them. Do not trust sociopaths at quarterback.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
For sure.
Fun playoff round.
All right, Flaming Dragon, what's going on in the Booster Club? Because I want to get to It's Mid before we take call-ins, all right? Remember, we're taking calls, all right, here in about 7 minutes. Okay, 1-855-2-336-3228. Was that right?
You want me to fact check?
Was that right? Fact check me.
I felt like a lot.
I don't know. I feel like I'm right.
All right, hold on.
Let's go to Jariah O real quick with a $5 donation. Appreciate it.
Jariah.
What's your thoughts on the upcoming Netflix show Full Swing? It's an F1 Drive to Survive style docuseries about PGA.
Yep.
It starts February 15th. Jariah, I don't give my money to Woke Corporation, so.
Well, you can sign me up for this one. I am jacked and tan about it. Anything that the Drive to Survive guys do, I'm going to watch. Just the behind the scenes, the tenacity in golf. I said tenacity really weird. I don't know why I said it weird like that. The tenacity in golf, I think, is very, very underrated. And anytime you can pull the veil, because, we hear pimentos and cheese, fathers and sons, a walk amongst the willows, or whatever they say in the Masters. It can get down and dirty. Okay, we can talk Lane Kiffin and Hugh Freeze and Cottrell. It can get down and dirty between these guys, and now you have the Live Tour. It's been fractioned. So now they're both competing against each other, just trashing each other. Greg Norman versus all the old white guys at the PGA. It's a great story. It's a great soap opera. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I mean, look, one of those sports, they're dealing with life and death every time they go out and perform.
And the other one's racing.
And the other one's not, no, the other one's golf, okay? So a little bit has to be manufactured there, but
obviously,
it's still full of drama. And like Jake said, with the Live Tour, by the way, boys, not to jump too far ahead, but Live did secure a streaming deal with the CW network. So now they can be sandwiched right in between all the cartoons that the kids watch.
Look.
But look, still
What's
a victory. In year one, they got a distribution deal. I kid live, but it's good.
It's like, look, you can watch the Gilmore Girls and then go watch the Saudi Arabian.
I like cartoons, I like golf.
You're not allowed to talk to her.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, big win for them.
All right, let's go to Ben Layden. What's up, Ben? $20 donation. Appreciate it, brother. He says, because it's Flaming Dragon Friday, and also, if there's a donation that goes towards Jake on the Flaming Dragon Friday show, should take it away from the counter.
I don't know about that.
If you get a donation.
Trying to buy one back? A mulligan?
You buy one back.
You're buying a mulligan?
Are there any mullies?
I don't want to have people to have to buy mulligans. I want to get up there and stripe it down the middle of the fairway.
I think they need to be held accountable, but we appreciate the donation.
God's PJ.
Then we'll think about
so
it. All right, then we'll come together. We'll put liquid paper on a B. It died. Let's go to Isaac Rhodes, $10 donation. Appreciate it, Isaac. Says, my son started level 0 last night, 8 pounds, 14 ounces.
Yes,
Give a shout out to my wife, Katie. She did amazing. And can't believe there isn't any baby merch in the CNC store.
Is that entirely
Is there some baby merch?
accurate? I don't know.
We'll have to look it up.
Congrats to you and Katie, though.
Yes, Katie.
Strong,
great
baby.
job. Remember, grab my strong hand. But son, 8 pounds. I mean, God, that's Yachtaheg. Well done. Well done.
All right, we need some baby merch.
We do need some baby merch. All right, Flaming Dragon, you want to do its mid before we get to
Always. Come on, let's get it going.
All right, get over there and get your
Hey,
leg
and
turned.
Reed wants to know, who do you think's kind of pretty?
Huh?
Who's interesting pretty?
Yeah, who's interesting pretty?
Who's interesting pretty?
I'm not answering those questions.
I need this.
I'm not answering
I broke my phone yesterday.
Reed's already mad at me.
I dropped a dumbbell on my phone yesterday.
Yeah.
I like to sit there and watch. Well, I'll still
Reed's already
so
mad
I
at
can
me
watch
this morning, so
Don't worry, guys. I'll get it.
not adding to it.
You need some help with
Yeah,
that?
you can go get your.
Yeah, I'll get it. Great. Awesome.
Don't destroy the whole set on the walk up here. All right. Hey, don't forget you have the graphic too.
Is this good? Can everybody see me?
Somebody come say how good you look.
Okay. Run the graphic. I have a beard. I miss the beard. All right. First stuff we're going to start with, guys, it's my favorite thing to do. I don't know if y'all have heard, all right, but there's a new show coming out called MILF Manor. It's on TLC. Listen to this. It's a new show where moms are contestants who are also contestant with their sons.
Oh.
So their moms will be watching their son hook up with women who are preying on them, obviously.
Man,
and your sons have to watch your mom hook up with random guys your age. How have we fallen this far in society? First of all, whoever came up with the show probably should be arrested, or at least watched for 6 months. And what's the next show going to be? What, weird old dad sniffing someone's daughter? If that's true, there's a guy in Washington waiting for a call right now. His name's Joe Biden. He's going to be needing a job here pretty soon anyways. All right? Yeah, it's a real thing. I was just as surprised. Next one, Top Gun 2.
Oh.
I know. I know. Blame this, blame that. It's
Boo this
mediocre. It's mediocre. They basically copied the first movie, right? They just copied scenes from the first movie with worse acting. The writing's absolutely terrible. They just complain the whole time. Miles Teller, mediocre actor. I don't care if he's on the beach flailing around. And what were they doing on the beach with that football, okay? There's offense and defense in football, not whatever crap y'all are out there making up, whatever Scientology Tom Cruise is out there doing. The movie's mediocre. The first one's a lot better, and I don't want to hear anything else. All right, the third one. Okay, and I had to get to this. Feminist. I can't do it. I can't do it. And the thing with me, look, man, I'm all for equal rights, all right? If there's a problem, we need to find it, identify it, and we need to solve it. But the whole thing, I really started getting to thinking about it, the timing's what's messed up to me. I didn't really hear any complaining when we're out there fighting lions and bears and tigers with our bare hands every day hunting to find the next meal. I didn't hear anything. Sure, I'll go pick some berries. Sure, I'll go pick some fruits. Love you, honey. See you when you get home. But now, all of a sudden, I get it. You played the long game, right? It's smart. You played the long game. Now, since OnlyFans comes out, it's equal rights. Equal rights. Yeah, I'm sure. And that gets me to my next one. Perfect. Girls with OnlyFans. All right. I was sitting in a restaurant a couple of days ago, and I overheard a conversation behind me about a girl who has an OnlyFans. He's like, I just can't get guys to respect me. I feel like they just want to hook up with me. Well, duh. What do you mean? What guy would respect somebody who just sends nudes out and will show everybody the entire kitchen? Right? You get what you put out, and you're putting out everything. Absolutely everything. All right? You don't need Givenchy, you need Jesus. All right? That's what you need. Okay? Let's listen to a great philosopher of all time. His name's Future. She belongs to the streets. Boys.
That was a good one, dude. That was a good one. She belongs to the street.
It's the truth. Like, I heard it. I was like, I almost turned around, went to the side of the table, like, are you okay?
The one I saw a commercial for that MILF Manor and couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
What? How did we get here?
We're just the weirdest.
How did we get here?
What network is that on?
TLC.
When you call in,
it's on TLC.
You're able to call right now. Get on the list. Call in. Come up with your what do you think is mid? Just give us something that you think is mid. Look, I'm Flaming Dragon. I'm with you on every one of those except Top Gun 2. Look, is it similar to the first movie?
Man.
It's hard to make a good sequel. The fighting scenes
You just
were
copied
awesome.
the first movie.
I was in the theater in a chair that moved. It was just a great experience.
The only thing I know is another thing that kind of upset me is like, why do they have better jets than us?
Yeah.
We're America.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have
Our
some
jets should
random
be-
place in
yeah.
Russia doesn't have better jets than us.
Yeah, like our jets turn into Optimus Prime.
Yeah, we
That's
could send
what
stuff
happens
over there and it
with
looks like aliens are attacking. But have Tom Cruise just crying about the jets we're flying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
No, I thought that was fantastic.
That was good, man. That was hilarious.
Let's get to the Booster Club.
Okay, Mike RFF Lifestyle, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Mikey. Happy Friday, fellas. Fields, Barkley, Hopkins, Mooney, and Kmet. Can this happen? Can a man dream? Also, Zach Wilson created the MILF show.
He does ride with the fear. I don't think they're letting Saquon out of New York. If that's who you're talking about with Barkley, right? Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley. I just don't see Justin Fields would have to go to New York. With the resurgence that Saquon has shown, with his ability to not only run the ball and not only catch the ball, but pass protect, not blow protections, things like that. You saw the leadership, him talking to the offensive line after the drive against the Vikings where they were held to a field goal. I think Saquon is as valuable even when he's not touching the ball on the field during a game as when he is, and that is very high praise because he is an elite, unbelievable athlete. We saw what he's able to do when he goes up against safeties in the hole and then on sweeps and things like that. I just don't see that connection happening unless it doesn't work out at quarterback for Justin Fields and you find him at another skill position on the Giants.
Another thing I didn't add to that is I did break my phone yesterday with a dumbbell.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, so that.
Well, you break your phone all the time.
That's a part of it. It's mid. That was pretty mediocre.
Yeah, that's like one of your biggest character flaws is you break your phone all the time.
I don't know what's the deal with me and phone. Airborne Dan, what's up, Airborne? He says, you're fighting a tiger with bare hands? I have a lot of questions. Like, look, man, you got to do what you got to do back in the day.
Look, I'm with you, though. I'm kind of with, like, there was no complaining when we had to go out there and kill those animals. There was no complaining when we had to go defeat the Nazis.
Nothing.
Nobody complained then. It wasn't, hey, no, send me. Well, send me. You stay here. Say me. Equal rights. No, it's just, and guess what? War breaks out against Russia, and we start the draft. Guess who? Guess who they're drafting? It's the fellas. Okay, it's the fellas. I'm sorry, you had some bills that are like, yeah, well, women need to be in conscription too, and then a bunch of women are like, no. We'll take care of this. Equal, same, but different, but still same. Y'all go storm the beaches at Normandy. Okay, but just know you can't do anything else when we get mad.
I saw there was this old poster from like right after the Titanic sank, and it was like, votes for me quickly turned into boats for me. We want to be first on the boat to get saved.
That's exactly right. We'd see, it's like I say, hey, put him in the ring, I'll fight him.
I love it. Let's go to Texas Ed. What's up, brother? Hashtag Ask Crane and Company. Do both the Bengals and the Bills play harder since they didn't play the full game last time? Are they timid because of what happened?
I have no idea what's about.
Look, it's a professional football game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring shootout, I think.
I thought that the first time. I
think that's what you're going to see. There was already, 10 points scored in like 6 minutes?
Two drives and 2 plays.
Yeah.
It was 10 minutes. 2 drives and 2 plays. I still think it could be a shootout.
I feel like this is going to be back for a hell of a game. Big plays, one-handed catches. I feel like this could be one of the best games of the playoffs. I just like the Bengals in winning time. I really do.
All right, let's go to Noah Hill. What's up, Noah? Do y'all think D-Hop would be a great fit with the Giants? I think D-Hop would be a great fit with a lot of teams, but where does he need to go? He needs to go to the Packers. That's where, if Aaron stays, he needs to go to the Packers.
Well, if I'm D-Hop, I'm getting to the back end of this thing, okay? And I want to win one. You saw Larry have a chance, do his things with Kurt Warner and put them in position at the Cardinals, but it's not going to happen at the Cardinals. It's a total tear down and rebuild around Kyler Murray, who's coming off the ACL injury. I feel like if I'm D-Hop, you don't have a lot of different bullets to go different places before it's the end of your career. It's been a hell of a career. I think you're a Hall of Famer. You need to go to the place that gives you the best position to win a Super Bowl. And if that means taking a little bit of a pay cut, it's time, I think, for D-Hop. The Giants, looking forward, it seems like they have some stability, right? You feel like the quarterback situation is now worked itself out. You've got weapons where it's not just D-Hop versus the world, so he's always getting bracketed. Man, I feel like, do not be shocked if you see somehow the Saints do this, get Sean Payton out, they're able to get compensated for that. They're now relevant again with picks and where they're at with cap space and things like that. Don't be shocked if Lamar Jackson ends up at the Saints and DeAndre Hopkins goes with him.
Will D-Hop be the same when the steroids wear off? That's what I want to know.
That's why I laugh. I'm like, look at DeAndre Hopkins. There's guys that take steroids, okay? And they look like Switowski from The Longest Yard, who's lifting up the bench with one hand with all the grown men on it. Look at DeAndre Hopkins, okay? And I know Winstraw and there's different steroids to help you get cut, and it's not just about, your head increasing size. DeAndre Hopkins and steroids, come on, man. That's like Sherman Klump and Nutrisystem. The two just don't go together.
Let's go to Robbie Williams, 29482. What up, Robbie? He says, Joe Burrow's like that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob clears his mind and all he knows is elite QB play and breathing.
That's it. It's very simple. Just 2 things that matter the most.
All right, let's go to Malcolm Martin. Says, I have a great idea. Let's get an OnlyFans promoted by DraftKings Bets. Women, come on. Great idea, right?
Look, there's a couple of great ideas I have, all right? That's one of them. Second one is, why don't we have drive-thrus at gas stations? I don't understand. Why can I not drive through? Like by where I'm at, there's a drive-thru where I can get coffee in the gas station. They got their own little coffee set up there. But why can I not go up to the drive-thru and be like, hey man, yeah, I'd like a peach Faygo and give me some of those bugles. And then they go get it and bring it to me. Why have we not done that yet? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Is there a gas station that has a drive-thru? Guess what? If Buc-ee's had a drive-thru, it'd be even they'd already tripled profits.
I'm hearing Parker's in Statesboro from Ryan says there's a drive-thru.
There's a drive-thru where you can actually get stuff from inside the gas station. Like if I want, hey man, I want a Pepsi fountain drink. I'm at the drive-thru.
They may not move too fast to get it, but you can go through.
Look, I'll pay. You'll make enough money. I'll pay some high school kid to just go back and forth, caravan that thing. Just bring it in. It's a great idea. It's a $1 billion idea. You're welcome, world. All right, that is copyrighted by Crane & Company, Jay Crane specifically. Okay, let's get to rapid fire before we take these calls.
I want to get to a couple of these things here first. So Byron Leftwich fired as the OC from the Bucs. Greg Roman resigns as the OC of the Ravens. Dolphins fired DC Josh Boyer. Let's just start with Byron Leftwich because a few seasons ago, under Bruce Arians' tutelage, when Brady comes in, they win the Super Bowl. Byron Leftwich was a favorite to get some of these open head coaching vacancies. Now Bruce Arians is gone. Tom Brady has his worst season as a pro. Byron Leftwich is let go. What do you think about this situation? Should he have been fired, and where will he land?
When you have that position, and it kind of went down the way it did, I do think he should have been fired. But everybody's like, oh man, it must be so great being an offensive coordinator for an elite quarterback like Tom Brady. Actually, I don't think it would be that great right now. When Tom and them were running through Super Bowls playing that style of the Patriots, yes. If you're Josh McDaniel, help build your career up. But right now, Tom Brady's on the back end of his career. Not that he can't throw, but he's the OC. The play calls are going to go through him, and he's not his old self. I feel like Byron's in a tough spot. He needs a fresh start. I do think he's a smart football mind. He just needs to go somewhere where I think he has a little bit more input on what actually happens. I'm not saying that he never called a play or he wasn't integral in the game planning. But when Tom Brady's your quarterback, it's like having LeBron on the floor. You're not really. How much coaching are you really doing? So if I'm not going to give you all the credit when it goes fantastic with a player like Tom Brady, I'm sure as hell not going to give you all the blame when it goes south like it has. So I just think he needs a fresh start, needs to go somewhere. When it comes to Greg Roman, what a great long relationship with the Ravens. They were able to have a lot of success offensively, but it was time for a change. I think Lamar staying in Baltimore is contingent on them running a system that actually plays to his strengths. This is doing nothing but following exactly what I've said for months. Lamar Jackson is in a system that does not fit him. Greg Roman's system is built for guys like Jimmy Garoppolo and pocket passers, all right? And it's not built for elite guys with their legs that throw it good enough to be a threat in the NFL. There aren't a ton of those guys, but we do see them, and Lamar's one of them. The Ravens need to reinvent themselves on offense. Love what they're doing on defense, but offensively, they need to reinvent themselves. They need to stop driving the Model T forward, and then they need to go get a Tesla. Bring somebody in there that's going to mix it up, play to his strengths. Get this man some help. I don't care how many times Emmanuel Acho lies to y'all people on live TV. Lamar Jackson has had no help. You drafted 7 skilled players in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. Hollywood Brown is gone. J.K. Dobbins can't stay healthy. The best player you drafted is now that's there is who? Duvernay or Isaiah Likely? You give this man some help and run a system that is tailored to his strengths.
Well, that system, they had the number 1 offense in 2019, but they've been unable to replicate it.
One time, you hadn't won a Super Bowl. You hadn't even been to one. Every time you get to the playoffs, what happens? You get outscored. You get outscored because that methodical, true pro style drop back game. Let's just feast on tight ends and running backs. Let's just feed them and feed them and feed them. I don't think it makes sense.
Blaine, on both of these OCs here, do you think too much blame? Okay, that's one from me. All right.
Oh, that was you.
That was me.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah, how'd you
blaming
not know
Dragon? Okay,
Yes.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Just look at me. Ask me a question.
Like
Look at me.
Okay, is Byron Leftwich getting too much blame for Bucs offensive line that was beat up? And then on the Ravens side of it, is their OC, was he getting too much blame for Lamar Jackson being injured and some of the injuries they've had?
I would say the Ravens OC should have got the blame that he did. Because after Lamar's first year, I think Lamar's first 16, 17 games, he was leading in almost every stat, right? But sooner or later, the more you put it out there, the more people are going to figure it out. And he really didn't adjust that well. I think Byron Leftwich should get part of the blame just because I don't think the play calling was good at all. And I know you're beat up front, but good OCs can adjust, in my opinion. But I do think once Bruce Arians left, things kind of changed. That voice in the locker room, that voice in Tom Brady's head. There's one guy, like their older head coaches, who can kind of calm a veteran down a little bit, or a veteran can really believe in, what I'm saying? Does Byron Leftwich know more about football and calling plays than Tom Brady? Let's be honest. What does it feel like to be Tom Brady and have a guy you're smarter than probably calling plays, right? So I understand. I think Byron would be a great college football coach. I really do. I think Byron could recruit. I think he can come in and put in a system that would fit. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another OC job in the NFL. He's good enough to do that too. But partial blame should go to Byron. I think full blame should go to the OC of the Ravens.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
good,
all right.
Good. Y'all ready for some calls?
Yeah, let's get to some calls. I love this.
Let's do it. All right, let's start with Ben from Missouri. Ben, go ahead and set the tone for us on this Flaming Dragon Friday. What do you have?
Well, how are you boys doing on this Flaming Dragon Friday? I'm definitely going to hit the under here.
Yes,
you love to
Come on, Ben.
Choosing violence, which is the best choice you can make.
Hey, so I'm a Broncos fan here, living in Chiefs Kingdom, and so that's never fun.
Bless your heart.
I am wondering about Sean Payton here, the Sean Payton sweepstakes. So, of course, we have the Chargers and they're with what happened with Brandon Staley and all this other stuff, but some beat reporters out of Denver are saying that the Saints could demand like 2 first-round picks for Sean Payton. And I just think with our first pick already gone to Seattle, it makes me sick. I just don't know how much you guys think would be too much to give away for Sean Payton. He's one of the only coaches that I think could come in and fix Russ or whatever's going on there, because we need to get back on track. I don't know what's going on. What do you guys think?
Well, it's a great question, Ben. We appreciate you calling, my friend. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. From a coaching standpoint, we talk about this in college football all the time. You can only get what the market bears, right? You can't go out and just grab anybody. Oh, well, the best coach available, well, it's Nick Saban or Kirby Smart.
Yep.
Those guys aren't leaving. It's what the market bears. Right now, when you look at the coaches that are out there, it's Sean Payton and then a huge gap and then everybody else. I mean, Frank Reich doesn't get me excited. I'm sorry. I know he's a great guy, but there's been a lot of great guys, and sometimes great guys get you fired. Cliff Kingsbury is over there doing God knows what with finger paint in Thailand right now. Lovie Smith has been recycled more than somebody, that has a trash can in somebody's driveway in California. When you look at everybody that's out there, it's Sean Payton and everybody else. And if I'm the Saints, right, that have nothing from a pick standpoint, that it's not looking great with me trying to rebuild and get a quarterback and put an offense around Dennis Allen you feel good about. Of course, when I have all the leverage, when I have the top dog in the market, when I can get compensation for the head coach that's still associated with me, I want everything. That's what I said yesterday. I want picks. I want players. I want pictures. I want stocks. I want portfolios, 401ks, IRAs, DOAs, everything, NDAs, everything possible. I'm the Saints. I'm going to try and squeeze every ounce of juice out of it. But at the end of the day, I still have to do something if I'm the Saints. So while I have the leverage, if I'm a team like the Broncos, and I understand as a Broncos fan, y'all just got fleeced. All right, so you kind of got PTSD from the last big deal that happened when you're watching what Geno Smith and the Seahawks are doing as opposed to the Broncos. But the question is, how valuable is Sean Payton in your mind to Russell Wilson? How valuable is that to Russell Wilson? Do you feel like Sean Payton can fix Russell Wilson enough to put good pieces around him? You already got Judy. You already have a couple guys you feel good about. Do you feel good enough about Sean Payton as the head coach to give those first two picks to go ahead and reinvigorate the Saints offseason? To me, no.
Nope.
To me, no. But it's interesting to see what the market is bearing right now because it's all lining up for the Saints. The market is in a really good place for where the Saints are. That's why Sean McVay, not getting out, opening the Rams job, them not firing Brandon Staley, Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys winning. There's not a lot of big-name organizations out there that Sean Payton can really go to right now outside of the Broncos. So I think it's kind of give and take.
You have to bring someone in who can prove that this season for Russell Wilson was the anomaly. Not just playing in Seattle for a great coach in Pete Carroll. And you want to prove that your $240 million investment wasn't a waste. Would you give up picks, Flaming?
No, you already gave enough up in the Russell Wilson trade, buddy. You can't be giving up 2 first-rounders to get Sean Payton.
That's a lot.
Not at all, but I know a guy who you can go get.
Brian Harsin?
Who's going to be a lot less, and he's an up-and-coming cat, and you might just hit a jackpot and probably fix Russell Wilson. Go get Kellen Moore. Go get Kellen Moore from the Cowboys. All right, to be the first team to be in that pocket early.
But you just went and got Nathaniel Hackett and young up.
Nathaniel couldn't hack it.
Well, I know he couldn't. Atiska Chris Kirkpatrick.
It's funny you talk about Cowboys because their DC, Dan Quinn, is going to get another head coaching job too. Now, I know they blew it in the Super Bowl, but he did take the Falcons to the Super Bowl in only his second year. He's going to get another head coaching job. But you want Russell Wilson under the tutelage of someone like Sean Payton.
All right, next
Ben,
question.
We really appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in. Go Broncos. All right, let's go to the Peach State here. We got Joe calling in from Georgia. Joe, what do you have for us?
Hey, man, Hobo Joe from the LG, elite member of the SBG, and now the Trust Tree.
That's how you start a call. You want to know how to start a call? Hobo Joe. Let's do it.
So y'all answered my question with Ben just a minute ago. I was wanting to know if Kirby Smart was going to go to the Colts. There's been rumors down here. But I heard y'all say he's probably not going anywhere. So what do the Atlanta Falcons have to do to actually be relevant in the next 5 years?
Well, number one, I don't think Kirby's leaving college to go to the NFL. I think Kirby has watched Nick do it and it didn't work. I think Kirby has watched Spurrier do it and it didn't work. Hell, you just watched Urban Meyer do it and it for damn sure didn't work. I think Kirby is in an absolute honey hole at Georgia, and he's still on the rise to me. While this may feel like the precipice or the top of the mountain is only as big as what your goals are. I think his goals are bigger than winning back-to-back. I think he does want to usurp Nick as the greatest of all time, and that hunger is going to keep him there and keep that program pushing. Now, he's also a smart businessman. I would definitely have my agent start to put my name in NFL considerations to increase my value to where I'm at. You never stop playing the leverage game in any business. So that's my Kirby Smart analysis there. I wouldn't worry if I'm a Georgia fan about that. Now, when it comes down to the Falcons, here's my question. Is Desmond Ridder the guy?
Nope.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I don't think they were stupid to draft him. I thought it was a good reach. A lot of people were surprised. I think the Falcons quarterback is in this draft. I think he's in this draft. I really do. I think the Falcons, after watching Desmond Ridder, there's no way that Arthur Blank and them really, really deep down believe. I know there's a lot of holes on the Falcons roster, right? There's a lot of places that they need to fix on offense and defense. Calvin Ridley's gone now. Speaking of the Jags, like we were earlier, that's going to be a hell of a trio with him, Trevor Lawrence, and ETN there moving forward. But I think the Falcons have got to get a quarterback that is their guy. Does that mean they move up? Does that mean they kind of manipulate where they're at right now when it comes down to draft position? I don't know, but you got to get the quarterback position right, and you got to get that defense back to that Falcons good pass rushing defense, bend but don't break, kind of similar to the Bengals a little bit. But they're a ways away. The Falcons are a ways away, in my opinion, Joe.
Where are you calling in from Georgia, Joe?
Locust Grove.
Locust Grove. Love to hear it. Look, I'm not as worried about Kirby Smart leaving Georgia as I am trying to protect Uga from PETA. You know, we're going to fight that fight.
Yeah, we'll
fight that fight for
like
sure.
You say, these.
Hey, Joe, thanks so much for calling in, man. We appreciate it. All right, we got Emmanuel C. calling in from Orlando. Emmanuel, what you got?
Universal.
Good morning, Crane and Company.
Emmanuel C.
Come on,
What's up, dog? What's up?
Yo, what's up on this Flaming Dragon Friday, the Sports Sabbath?
Yes. You already know. Channel your inner John Brinkus right here.
Got it. Big fan of you guys. Just like to let you know that ever since I started listening last year, my love for sports has been renewed. You guys are fun. Man. You guys are cool. And just bringing people back, bringing people back to brotherhood and everything of that nature. My question is, I'm born and raised in Orlando, Florida. All I ever had is the Orlando Magic to root for. And to be honest with you, I fell out of love with basketball. I'm actually a fan of European soccer, of European football, like the Premier League and La Liga and stuff like that. They follow a relegation system. So where like the lowest tier teams, either the 2 or 3, they get relegated to a lower league to basically trying to prove themselves again. And then the winners of the lower league get promoted to the upper leagues. My question is, do you see an American sports league? I was kind of thinking basketball, the NBA, to follow a similar relegation system, just to bring vigor back into the fan base, to bring have things where people can root for. Because right now, Everton FC in the Premier League, they're actually fighting for relegation, to get out of relegation, and the fans are furious. So I'm wondering, is there something similar that you could see happening in the United States with an American sports league?
Yeah, first off, Emmanuel, we appreciate your support, man. You've been here since day one. We really appreciate it, and that's the reason we do it, to bring people that have kind of been out of sports back into sports, and maybe not give a show that doesn't hate you because of what you believe and actually talks about sports and doesn't go out of its way to get political, to get cheap points. I will say this. I only think it can work in professional leagues. People talked about what college football and relegation. I don't think that would work with the way athletic departments are set up, but in professional leagues, it's a lot more plausible in my opinion. I wouldn't mind it in the NBA. I wouldn't mind it. I think it's something Major League Baseball may need to look at. They're adding expansion teams. You have a farm system below it with AAA and AA and single A. Obviously, it'd be AAA, but with the NBA, you have the G League, right? You have the G League. I don't think in the NFL in practice it would work using the USFL or the XFL as a relegation league. But I think in the NBA, and possibly in Major League Baseball, you really could pull it off. And it would bring a totally new dynamic, right? It would bring a totally new dynamic to the sport, where not only can you cost yourself this year, but you can cost yourself next year. You'd get a lot of great stories of underdog teams kind of scraping their way to the top. And I don't know. I do like it in theory. In practice, I think it can only be done in a professional league, Emmanuel C. But I like where your head's at.
No, it's a great concept. There's 2 reasons why you won't see it here in America. One, when an owner buys a franchise and makes a multi-billion-dollar investment, they want to know that they're going to be able to get that money back, and they won't be relegated to a lower league based off poor performance, even though that's kind of how free market systems work. And the second thing is the TV contracts are signed, so long in advance. They sign these, 10-year deals that the TV companies want to know too, like what games are going to be on TV at what time, and how can we make our money back from advertisers? That's why I think you won't see it in professional sports.
Well, Emmanuel, we were great to see you and hear from you, my friend.
No problem, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one. All right, let's go to Colton. Colton's calling in from Tennessee. What do you have for us, Colton?
What's up, guys? So, first off, I want to say, by the way, this is Glegby from All Access.
Oh, my God. Glegby, what's going on?
Yes.
So, first, I want to say, y'all's opening today was spot on, and as a lawyer, I can personally attest that your position is correct. So, good for you on that.
Yes.
Next, my sports question. You guys know I'm a big Titans fan. The Titans have the 11th pick of the draft. Do we go for Jalen Hyatt on the 11th pick, or is there someone better?
Yeah, here's my thing with where the Titans are right now. And we just talked about this with the Falcons. And look, we know quarterback is the position that it comes down. It's the most important position on the field. Let me ask you this, Colton. Do you believe in Ryan Tannehill?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Do you believe in Malik Willis from what you've seen?
The jury's still out on him. I want to believe in him, but
yeah. Well, again,
hasn't proved himself yet.
Yeah, I want to believe in certain mythical figures, but I haven't seen one yet. And Bigfoot or the Vanilla Godzilla, whatever that thing we showed yesterday that was walking around, the 7-foot, 400-pound monster. Here's where I'm at. I don't like putting the cart before the horse, right? So if I don't feel like I have the person that can deliver the pizza to me, I'm not calling in to order it yet. Like, I don't want to go get a receiver. It's different if I go get a running back. Quarterback can just turn around and hand him the ball. It's a lot different than him getting the ball. The Titans, with where they're at the 11th pick, the way I look at, you have the head coach, I think, in my opinion. Now, some people don't believe in Mike Vrabel, but I do. Do you have the defensive pieces that you need to be successful? I love Jeffrey Simmons. I love what they can do against the run. Still a little bit of a liability in the secondary, even though Roger McCreary is an up-and-coming lockdown corner, in my opinion. But offensively, you are about to waste Derrick Henry. Treylon Burks, I think, has a nice future. I think Treylon can be what a lot of people thinks he can be. The offensive line is good enough, but you don't have the quarterback right now. You've got to go take care of that. I am parlaying that 11th pick. I'm looking at the Bears saying, listen, all right, I know you traded Robert Quinn. I know you traded Roquan Smith. You probably need some help in the middle of that defense. How does Jeffrey Simmons sound? One of the best interior D linemen in the league to move up, maybe get that one spot, maybe get that quarterback at 1. Go get Bryce Young. Go get C.J. Stroud. You got to get a quarterback if you're the Titans, or it's all a waste.
I don't think
it's all a waste.
I don't think you do, because I don't think you're going to have to give up too much to get in the top 3, and that's when you have to get one of those quarterbacks. If anything, I think that's too high to take a receiver. What can you always do? It's just sad to say, but Taylor Lewan's coming off 2 ACL injuries, right? You don't re-sign Taylor Lewan, you get $15 million in cap space. I'm looking at Paris Johnson Jr., the right tackle out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Right? If anything you can do when it comes to drafting, you can never go wrong with taking a tackle. I promise you can never do it. And if somewhat fixes your offensive line, I think you'd have to give up too much to get the quarterback you wanted, right? I think if you do stick at 11 or 12, I don't know if you have the 11 or 12th pick, I think you're reaching a little bit. You'd have to reach for a Will Levis, an Anthony Richardson, or a Hendon Hooker. So if anything, I'm giving the big right tackle to come play, because at this point, injuries suck. We love Taylor Lewan on this show, but I just don't know how you can.
Well, what do you do at quarterback then? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers coming?
You drafted a quarterback.
Maybe make a free agent play. Like Broncos have been doing it. Broncos
Derek
won
Carr.
Super Bowls.
You gonna bring Derek Carr down to Tennessee?
Maybe.
Which he'd be an upgrade over Tannehill.
I think so.
But I mean, I think they got to get the quarterback.
Maybe you didn't hear though. Taylor Lewan is the heartbeat of that team, and he's going to play for the next 50 years.
I know.
Right? He's never retired.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You really want to piss that guy
emotions
off?
aside, right? I mean, it's a business.
He's gonna rip the roof
Steven
off
Crowder.
of this
It's just a business.
Yeah, it's just a business. Hey, we appreciate it, brother.
Hey, Colton, thanks so much for calling, man. Talk to you soon. All right, let's go to David here. David, you're on the line. Where are you calling in from?
Yo, what's up, Crane Company? I am calling from Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Orlando, Tampa. Take a little trip.
Yeah. Well, before I get to my question, on behalf of the Booster Club, we would like to say hi to producer Justine.
Oh God!
Wow, PJ getting a shout out. I love
it. She's nervous for tomorrow.
She's nervous now. She's super nervy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about recruiting, like, the differences in recruiting in college basketball and college football. Like, have you guys noticed that recruiting seems to be less impactful in college basketball than college football? Like, I'm not saying that recruiting in college basketball doesn't matter by any means, because obviously in a lot of aspects it does. But if we look at recent history, these teams that have won it all, they're not reeling in these top 5, top 10 classes for most of these years. I mean, look at Baylor, who won it all a couple of years ago. They didn't have a single top 10 class in those years leading up to their championship season. Now, maybe I'm judging this all wrong, but still, it seems that in college basketball, it's more about fit, development, and veteran leadership than getting the most talented players.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. You always, in my opinion, regardless of what sport, you want that right mix of very talented players, guys that do it the right way. But what you're talking about is the one tangible trait that you do not get from recruiting when we're not talking about the transfer portal. And that's what? Experience. Right? Basketball. In football, it's a little bit different. You have 11 guys on the field. Everybody has to do the right thing. You always want experience. But we've seen young, talented guys burst onto the scene in football. But in football, one player really can't win the game, like by themselves. They can have big plays and make big plays. In basketball, when you have experience, or you see these teams win it, we always talk about that have old guards, right? Old guards win in March. Well, when you have a tournament style that is built like that, a lot of times, when one game you can play bad and you're out, you're done. You can't win the championship. That's where you see that experience come in. That's why the transfer portal's value in college basketball is as much or more important than it is in college football. But yes, when you have a group of 5 guys that have played for a while, you have a 3-point line that is the great equalizer. You have guys that are all different sizes out there that can be effective. Yeah, I can totally see where you would think that. That makes sense to me.
It's just I feel like it's just such as apples and oranges when you compare them. It's so different just because the amount of people you have to develop when it comes to a football roster, the amount of people you have to develop when it comes to a basketball roster. And I think it's a lot different in football. Usually the better players win at the end of the day in football. And in basketball, you never know when the tournament comes. We saw St. Peter's beat a Kentucky team that was way better. So I think belief, development, somewhat in basketball, but skill lasts longer when it comes to football.
Yeah, but and we've got to remember this too when we're making this point. When you look at college basketball and you look at college football, the roster sizes are so much different. But again, there's so many more variables that have to go right into that are set in a college football game as opposed to a college basketball game. We've seen crazy shots go in, crazy drives go in. It just, like you said, Blaine, it is apples and oranges, but it is an interesting argument.
Well, usually the success you see on college football teams, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
That's 6. We're still under
I thought it was 5. Either way. Usually the most successful teams you see in college football are stacking several recruiting classes. Yeah. It's not you had the 50th ranked class, then had one top 10 class, and then another 50 class. Yeah. You were stacking most of those. But David, thanks so much for calling in, man. Talk to you soon. All right, let's go to Dominic. Dominic's calling in from Kentucky. Dominic, what do you have for us?
Bet he's got a jump shot.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Doing good, Dominic. What's up?
Happy Friday to Flaming Dragon.
Yes.
Happy Friday to you, Dominic.
All right, so here's my thoughts and question. It's just about the Dallas and how they handled their poor kicking on Monday night. So I heard what you guys said on Wednesday, and how McCarthy probably should stop seeing him out there. But I wanted to push back on that a little because it looked like he had the yips, or the football equivalent, and I thought they had the game pretty well in hand. So I was kind of applauding McCarthy for continuing to send him out there when just trying to get him out of that vibe.
Yeah. Here's where I'm at on it. And I actually, truthfully thought it was a smart play because the game was already decided at that point. That was a pure confidence fulfillment standpoint. What I am talking about, Dominic, is when this game's tight. All right? Because they're going to trot him out there first touchdown against the Niners, right? They're going to trot Brett Maher out there and let him kick the extra point. But if he misses that extra point in a game where you're not going to be in control the whole time, and we know every point in every game, especially playoff games, is uber important, but when you're playing probably the most balanced team in the NFL in the San Francisco 49ers, you need every single point. Do you send him out there the second time if you score? Or do you just say, you know what, we will go for 2 every time, which is a horrible position to be in because not only are you having to make that decision on an extra point, which isn't the longest field goal of all time, you still have to kick regular field goals if you don't score a touchdown. So if I'm going to say I'm not sending you out there for an extra point, then I'm going to say what? So I'm going to send you out there for a 45-yard field goal if I have to? Outside of it being last second, I'd rather try and attempt a field goal with this guy than throw a 45-yard ball into the end zone because the odds are just better of him making it. It's really setting up for that next moment was what I was meaning, Dominic. I don't mind that they brought him out there late. The question is, how long is that string against the Niners? Because the margin for error against the 49ers is a whole hell of a lot different than the margin for error against the dysfunctioneers or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as you call it. But I agree with you in your sentiment at the beginning.
I agree with both of you, actually. It's natural after a kicker misses 4 extra points to have some reservations here in the week after, right? Because that's a lot. But it's also natural. I think it was the right call to keep sending your kicker out there, especially when you do have a lead, even though nothing's safe against Tom Brady, because you have to assume no matter how many extra points are missed in a row, you have to assume your professional kicker is going to make the next one.
You would think so.
Right? All right, let's get one last one. Thank you so much,
Dominic. Appreciate
last one, quickly. Scott from Oregon, what do you have for us?
Scotty.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I don't have a lot of questions, but I wanted to just say thank you to you 3 guys. You have brought back laughter and enjoyment to sports. I'm 55. I've been watching ESPN with Smith and Kellerman, and they just made me sick to my stomach. And I'm a sports fan. I love sports, and you guys have come on, and I watch you as much as I can in between my deliveries and stuff. So I just want to say thank you and God bless you all. And I appreciate everything you do. I'll just say, Jake, man, you got to stop with those girlfriend analogies.
Come after your ass.
He's giving advice now.
24 years, my friend. 24 years. And let me tell you, the doghouse gets cold. Okay?
I'm learning. I'm learning, and you're right. I will bow to my sensei on that one.
I appreciate you guys and God bless y'all and keep it up. I listen to you as much as I possibly can. So thank you very much for
hey, we man.
Back a little bit of joy.
Scott, God bless you, man.
That's why we did it, man, and we're so happy to be here at the Daily Wire. And again, it's about you guys. It's not about us. Y'all know the real us. I think one of the things that separates us is like when this show ends, we're the same people. Like this isn't a fake deal, but no, that means a lot. We appreciate you and what you guys do as well out there getting those deliveries knocked out, brother. We're gonna keep bringing it every day. And you're right. I may need to stop rocking the boat. Like I said, Reed's already not super thrilled with me this morning. But live call-ins, absolutely love them. But appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. That was great. All right, I'm about to head over to the board, okay? The board of extreme trust, extreme justice, and extreme wakeboarding. Our Booster Club bets are sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 on the NFL divisional round and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's right, $200 in free bets. It's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, I'm headed to the board.
Do it now.
The hockey bets continue.
All right, hey, 8 minutes. What's the number we're at here on the line?
We're at 6,
we hit the over? That last one sounded like we hit
6, but we ran out of graphics. I thought you guys were better than that, so I need to
Y'all
know.
guys.
We were better
Y'all
than that.
guys.
First of all, we're under right now.
We're under the 6.5.
Don't
Let's go right here.
Don't even. He doesn't exist.
No,
for
Sherman
7
dead.
months.
into that.
He's dead.
For 7 minutes.
And we got the Booster Club leaderboard. Remember, guys, I send out the tweet every day. It's a form you fill out. It's on Google. Bill Gates can't see it. Don't worry. All right, and number 1 right now, the priest without the least. Revco 250, 7-0. Tyson's right hook, 6-0. 4 J's, 3 B's, a 2, 3, a 4, and a 5. He's 4-0. Hugh G _3. I see what you did there. Is 3-0. Ulrich Sharber, sounds like he's about to pillage a village in Old Scotland, is 2-0. So is Portmanteau. Sister Rigby, the queen of the Booster Club, is 1-0. Neftink, Sean Ketz, Z23, and Sasha Booster Club. The first 2 are 0-0. The last one's 0-1. We get to 12-0. We're in the Hall of Fame. We've only had a couple people hit the Hall of Fame here lately. Booster Club, step up your game. But here's what we got tonight, guys. The DraftKings bet of the day from Crane & Company hit yesterday. Thanks to Blaine. Taking the Lightning money line.
Why are you upset?
I told you, don't talk to him. Don't look at him. Oh, my goodness. I've come into this situation.
Boom, baby. There it is.
Read the bets. I'm done.
Kirk Cousins.
Read the bets.
Blowing it when
Why are you even?
Read the bets.
Shouldn't you pull for us?
No. I shouldn't. Where's the tumbler?
I guess I'll make 11.
Where's the tumbler?
Yeah, why don't you
It's a great
pull the
question.
tumbler out and give it to me?
It's a great question,
With
man.
5 minutes to go, I'd fourth and 8.
Blaine. I'm going to say it all day now.
So here's the stupid bets from today. Give me, because for some reason, Colorado.
Hey, just signed the number one player.
Hate me. All right, so Siena money line, VCU Richmond under 132.5, and the Boise New Mexico under 145. That's going up at plus 330. Giants, help us God. And then I'm going hockey bets, guys. We're like up 20 units this month in hockey. Might as well stick my hand in the microwave and see how hot it is. So give me the Avs, Canucks over 6.5 goals, and the Penguins money line at plus 191. Nothing.
Hey.
What's your bets?
I'm actually bet buds on one of these with my boy Tanner over there. I
hate this.
Garvey, come get your husband.
We got Penguins and Avs money line in a little parlay. That's plus 164. And then I'm going to take some NBA action for the first time this season. Not stoked about it, but let's see if it hits. I'm going to go ahead and pair the Pelicans and the Nuggets together on a parlay. That's plus 107. Double dog bet night.
My double dog dare you.
Ooh, all right, up 12.5 units on the month. Get your money, fellas. All right, I'm taking the Nugs minus 11 at home playing against the Pacers. Who believes in the Pacers? Absolutely nobody. Then give me the Clips money line. PG, little Kawhi, got to believe in that's plus 142. And I'm bet buzz with this absolute tree over here and pins in the Avalanche. That's plus 164.
All right, speaking about trees, Baby Tree, a.k.a. Baby Cone, he's taking St. John's, the Red Storm. They're going to squad up and take down Villanova at home tonight. He's guessing that's at minus 175. I didn't realize they're that big of a favorite over Nova.
Yep.
It's still weird to see Villanova without Jay.
A little bit weird, yeah.
And then Ball State, minus 19. What? Does that say minus 19.5? Plus 9.5. Sorry, on the road.
Does that say Ball State?
It says Ball State.
It says Ball State.
It says Ball State. I put the S a little
that says Ball State.
S a little closer to L. I don't know.
You did that on purpose.
I don't know. Hold on, let me change this for the kids out there. He's going to take Ball State. See, I can't say it right now. Ball State plus 9.5. That's at minus 105. They're playing Kent State. Guys, up almost 6 units in the month. It's our job to get you paid. That's why we put out Sports Betting 101 video, Sports Betting 102 video, and a Sports Betting 10.
Ooh, look at that.
3 video.
Is that the skedaddle?
That was the skedaddle.
Really?
Skedaddle.
I mean,
European gritty.
It's the European gritty. It's the skedaddle.
Yes. Right,
it's the skedaddle. It's terrible in World Wars, though. Okay, Booster Club.
Poll.
Who
has more wins next season? Auburn Tigers or the Ole Miss Rebels?
Ooh. Gotta look at the schedule, man.
Sweet. Well, answer the question.
I'm going to say they said Ole Miss 54%.
Give me the Tigers.
All right, who has more wins next year? Ole Miss 59%, Auburn 41%.
We know
that kind of hurts my feelings.
We know where it stands.
I'm going to be honest. Micro FF Lifestyle, shout out to the Booster Club who can't make it in this morning. Sometime Crane & Co. is post-work a mid-afternoon type of show. Whenever you can get in and watch, baby, get in and watch.
Yeah, get in where you fit in. We don't discriminate here. We're not timeologists.
Let's go to Baby Sour's dad says, I feel like Blaine looks more like a Winston than a Tanner. Stop that.
Stop. Winston.
What do you look like?
I don't look like a Winston.
You
look like an absolute unit.
You look like a Chaz.
Chaz Winston Tanner.
Chaz Winston Tanner.
You look like a Chet.
Chaz Winston
You look like a Chet
Tanner.
to me.
There he is.
Yeah.
Chet and a Sam.
A Sam?
Yeah, you look like Sam.
You said he looks like Sam?
Yeah.
I could see Sam.
Right?
Sam?
I don't know. I feel like a.
Or a Skyler.
I take no disrespect. Skyler. Skyler? Man.
Oh, man. Where's the tumbler?
I'd like to know.
Where's the commissioner?
You know, the guy who keeps asking.
Justice!
The guy who keeps asking where it is.
Yeah, I know.
It gets really hot in the suit.
A hit dog hollers.
You hit dogs?
No. First off, that's the second thing that's been thrown at you today. Anything else from the Booster Club?
I mean, obviously there's other things to the Booster Club, but do we have the time? That's the question.
Well, we can fit it in real quick.
Y'all see maybe Stetson Bennett going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Stetson Bennett just getting drafted is hilarious to me. Totally flipped the script.
Yeah. Cody Nason says Blaine is the NHL betting whisperer.
He is. The puck whisperer.
I don't know if we mentioned this. I think we mentioned All Access. How do we mention on the show? But the jerseys got sold out for old boy from the Flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You saw
the fans
people
have spoken
speaking with their wallets. Well, it's
spoken.
amazing. These professional leagues care more about the sponsors than the fans, which I find absolutely hilarious and not a great scheme.
And Shapiro gave us a shout out on his show yesterday, too.
Oh, good.
We on the come up, boys?
This.
Yeah.
The come up's real. And it helps. The come up can continue to come on up. If you are subscribed, check us out on all social media. Find @Crane Company on Twitter. Go follow that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. Share the show. Remember, without you, there is no us. I'm loving the live call-ins. We're going to continue to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we always hit the Booster Club up in the chat. Y'all know what time it is. And like the chances of the Cowboys moving on after this weekend, we're going, gone.